Alright, in today's video, I'm going to perform an installation of IBM Data Studio. So recently, IBM released the version 4.1.4 in December. So IBM Data Studio is a similar product to Oracle's SQL Developer and the Microsoft Management Studio. This shares some similarities, and it will be used by people in the DB2 world. So let's do a Google search, IBM Data Studio, latest version. Okay, so this is the IBM page. So we can just go ahead to click download and install. And let's find where to download the image. So we're gonna scroll down quite a few pages. Okay, let's see where it is. Maybe I skipped. Let me go screwed up. Where it is? Oh, here. So the full Data Studio product image, 2.17 gigabyte, and December 2021. So to download this, you need an IBM account. So you sign on and download. So I've already downloaded. Let's go to my history, download folder. So I already downloaded here. Okay, so I can go to this one. This is the download image. It's about 2.2 gig. All right, so then let's go to the installation instruction. It's here about install IBM Data Studio. Let's click this link. Okay, it says how to install and update the IBM Data Studio with IBM Installation Manager. So here it is. So there's some prerequisite. Okay. Well, it's kind of confusing. I'm going to click on this one. Okay. How to install IBM Data Studio 4.14. Okay, this is actually the document, and it says so prerequisite check. Okay, so you need two things. One thing is called installation manager. Another thing called repository location. We will find out what that means. Okay, and it's really it's not very straightforward. We'll find out. Okay, so first thing, it says the prerequisite check. We need install the latest version of IBM Installation Manager. So we click on this link. Okay, how to install the IBM Installation Manager. So here's the steps. It's basically you untap the image we download and do the install. Inside there's a 2-zip file, and we're going to use this 2-zip file. You see, extract this install file and then do the installation. All right, let me go to my download folder. So basically, this is the download zip file. I'm gonna right click, okay, and do the extraction. So I'm gonna use 7-zip and extract it to a folder called IBM 4140 WIN folder. Actually, I already extracted, so Let me just remove this one and try again, okay? I'm gonna delete this folder and extract again, okay? So I'm gonna use the 7-zip, just extract here, okay? Gonna take few, maybe 10 seconds or something. Yeah. So, okay, extracted. Let me go into this folder. You see, as the documentation says, you're gonna have like a 2-zip file. So in order to install the installation manager, so we have to extract this one first. Okay, so we're gonna extract this one. So I'm gonna extract into another subfolder. Okay, it is relative. Just okay, extracted. It's just not the typical Windows way to do the installation. Okay, let's go back to the document. You will see similar thing. Like here is after you extract, you're gonna click on the install and perform the installation. Okay, then you're gonna install the 1.9.16. So let's finish the install. So here's the install. Let's click. Let's go to yes. And this process is not installed a Data Studio. Rather, it's installed the installation manager. Okay, so I guess just take a default and accept the license term. Go to next. So it's gonna install into this location Eclipse. So I'm gonna accept the default and do the installation. Okay. I probably have to pause the video because it may take a minute also and come back. Here it's saying retrieving files. I'm not sure if it's retrieving from the internet, so it's gonna take time to but here it is the download. Maybe it's downloaded from the internet. I'm not sure. Or but anyway, that is the process is ongoing to retrieve files for the prepared installation. All right, the installation for the installation manager is completed, and let's says restart the installation manager. Okay. So this is the IBM installation manager. Now, so this installation manager is going to install the IBM software package. So if we click install, we'll find nothing because you have to specify the location of this. It's called repository or maybe also called install image. All right, let's go back to the IBM documentation. So basically here, this link is we finish the installation manager. You see here, restart the installation manager. This is the last step we just did. Okay, once this started, give us this page. Now let's return to the installation of Data Studio itself. So you see, we already did this prerequisite check. Now it says From this installation manager, go to the file preferences, okay, and then they use those kind of images to see where you're gonna pick up the image file, okay. Basically, like you add the location. So let me go to this one. So go to File, Preferences, and add a repository. So that is the way early we like unzip the file in the download folder. So I'm just click OK. No, so let me go to the browse. Okay, here, yeah. So this is the one according to documentation, okay. com.ibm.dsid, those, and also with this number 4142, 414-2. So let's open. Okay, so that is the repository, okay. So let's click OK. Now we can do the install, okay. Click install and check the software we're gonna install. It's called IBM Data Studio Client, okay. And the version is 414. Let's go to next. And now accept the license agreement again. So this we can skip this warning, just this called the share resource directory. Go to next. So that is where the installation directory will take a default, and also it's 64-bit, depends on your machine. Let's go to next. Then it's language. We pick the English. All right, so that is where what component you're gonna install. Okay, so we're gonna take the default application development, administration, query tuning. So actually, depends on your role. Okay, if you're a database manager, probably more focused on the administration part. If you're a developer, you probably want this application development. But now, anyway, we just install all the component, okay? And let's go to next. All right, so it's ready to install. The total size about 1 gig, okay? So I'm gonna click install, and we'll pause the video. It will take a few minutes. Okay, it took about 5 to 10 minutes, so it's finished. So that now we can start it up the Data Studio. All right, let's launch this Data Studio. Yeah, typically for the new install, they will ask you for the workspace. Probably I have some left over, so they direct it into the page. And here it is called the task launcher. So basically some specific task, like for example, if you're an administrator, you can do those things, a shortcut, something like that. So, and here it's basically where you're gonna add the connections. So this is, for example, new connection to a database. And so you want to give for example, if you connect to a Aerial W, others, they also support SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, MySQL, and so on and so forth. Okay, so and then let's see they use this one. So you're gonna give database name, host name, port number, and the username, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is the JDBC connection string. Also here, this I can see the trace optional parameters. Okay, so where you do the connection, and let me find the server so we can do a test. Okay, let me pause the video and start it up a DB2 instance so we can do a connection test. Okay, while waiting for the database boot up, so let's go back to the IBM documentation. You will see we just did exactly as the document illustrated. So see, we add the repository and then to click on the install and then pick up the install packages, license, and so on and so forth, and eventually complete the installation. Here we didn't choose all the language, we only choose the English. Okay, so here then all the way it's finished. Okay, so now let's uh, go back the connection string. So we're gonna connect to DB2RUW. So let's see. So we have a database on a remote server. The database name called GSDB. It's a sample database. The remote host HH2, or lowercase, doesn't matter. And the port number is 50,000. And the username is db2inst1. That is the default instance, typically when you can create on the Linux. Then the password. And you can choose if save password or not. Okay, so I'm gonna save the password. The default schema, so you're gonna see. I'm gonna just use this one. Otherwise, they're gonna give all the schema object, including the system. Okay, so let's do a test connection. It's successful. Okay, then click next. We don't have physical database model, so we just go to next, or you can click finish. It's fine. So let's click finish. So it's completed. So now you see on the left pane, you will see the host name, instance name, and then database name. Okay. So it's a version, it says Windows version 11.5. Okay. So we can expand this list and go to like tables. You see this is all the tables. They give you the number of row and schema name and so on and so forth. Okay, so also indexes. And so let me close this window. Okay, close the window, show all. Okay, so this all the indexes, constraints, triggers, sequences. You don't have them, you probably have alias. Okay, schema, temporary table, storage group, table spaces, buffer pools. All the database object, users and the groups. And here you can expand like use groups, public, users. This is the users, okay? And from here, you can, let's see, if you pick up a table, let's see the country table, click on this, right click, you will have some options to, like, for example, managing this table, those kind of, and also like show those kind of property and load, unload the data. And also you can select, for example, if you select browse the data, it gets like select. If you edit, like you can insert and update, and also like generate DDL, compare with another object. Okay, so let's do a browse the data. So they will run a query and give you the table data. Okay, you can also from here you can run the SQL. From here also you can see a new SQL script. So basically give you a window so you can run like a script or simple SQL. Let's see. Select star from syscat dot tables. So those GUI can help people to learn, but and to my point of view, it's for DBA use, it's kind of not very efficient. So if you're a database administrator, probably you can go to, most likely you can run the command, the SQL from the command line instead of from using the GUI, okay? So let's give it a try. So select, let's see the SQL result, successful property, SQL result, and result set is here. You see all the like 500 rows, something like that. However, if you work with development, you might need help them to to do certain things, including certain like administration related. For example, let's see, you do the right